Well, I'm back on this project now. I took kind of a long break. It's hot, a hot summer. And since the last video, I did get it registered. Re-registered, I should say. It was registered my name in 1985. And never really took it out my name, but I did let it expire. But it's been passed around the family, but it was never really registered in anyone else's name. So I didn't think it'd be a problem. I took it down to the DMV and it's out of their system now. So they sent me to the Highway Patrol to get a VIN check. They want to make sure that it's not stolen. So I had to make an appointment for the Highway Patrol, and I took it down there, but I wasn't sure if they would just register a frame and engine, so I put all these parts back on it and loaded my truck, took it down there when I had my appointment. They checked the VIN, of course it came out okay. They gave me the paperwork, and I took it back home, and I could take the parts back off again. And I make an appointment at the DMV now to go back. This will be my third trip to give them the VIN number, the paperwork, pay the fees, and finally got it registered. And since then, it's been kicking around in my garage. And I'll tell you, these ATCs take a lot of room, so I kind of like to get it squared away. But every time I moved it, I noticed there's a little puddle of oil, even though the dipstick shows that it's, even though the dipstick shows that there's no oil in the engine, it does leave a little puddle, and it's right under where the shift shaft goes into the engine. And there's a seal there, so I guess I'll go ahead and change that seal. I would like to start the engine up and see just where the leak is, but I don't want to start it up until I find out if that dipstick's in there. So I gotta take the right side cover off. You can do this stuff with the engine and the frame, but I really like to get this engine cleaned up because it's really dirty. The point where it's leaking is right here. Right under here, this is all wet. But, and there's oil thrown all over the engine. So I'd really like to get it cleaned up, and I think it'll be easier to clean up if I just take the engine out. Take the engine out of the frame. So that's what I'll do next. You can remove the engine with the ATC sitting down on all three wheels if you like, but you got to crawl around on your hands and knees to do it. So what I like to do is to rock it back on its back wheels and the grab bars, and that way the parts are more accessible. So that's the way I'll do it. Don't really want it crashing down, although it probably wouldn't hurt anything. These are pretty rugged. So. Chain. Muffler. Unplug the spark plug. Foot pegs. There's a couple of wires here that need to be taken off. One comes out of the points, goes through the cylinder and plugs into the wire harness. That needs to be unplugged. And there's two wires coming out of the alternator, a black one and a yellow one. And they need to be unplugged from the wire harness. Next, the front motor mount. Motor mount. unless I've forgotten something, the only thing holding this engine in is two more motor mount bolts. There's one here above the engine, if it was sitting down on the ground, and one behind it right under here. And we take those two bolts out, and then we can lift the engine out. All right, the two motor mount bolts are out now, and the engine's just sitting there, and I think I can just lift it out. And there it is.